I'm Jessie Liu, and I'm a senior at Ithaca High School. I'm in the English Digital Media class, which is primarily composed of seniors. So for this piece, I thought I'd ask these seniors their perspectives on their time at the high school, and specifically English Digital Media. It's been a long year, heck, a long 12 years of public education. Seniors have struggled with one application after the other, the most notorious of which is hosted by the Common App, or the Common Crapplication. Through mutual levels of high stress, a mutual love for good lighting and the Control-Z function, and an overall hatred of rendering time, us seniors in digital media have attained our own form of unity. I've got to say, my favorite memory from this class is probably early mornings editing in the room with Cass, but naturally, my classmates had some different answers.
My favorite memory from this class would probably be standing in for Wyatt as anchor of one of our weekly shows.
It's when Mr. Cass told me that I could be the anchor of the show. That was really cool.
My favorite memory in English digital media is probably all the times. Andrew! You wanna...
When we did the first Walter project, it's actually the only time when I got a friend that's not in this class in front of camera.
I was exposed to a whole new world of this fancy equipment and editing and making cool things that you could never do before, and I thought it was really cool that we were able to gain access to that as high school students.
My favorite moment in this class was when I worked on the Giving Back project, and Diego was my actor, and he fell over the trash can.
I guess Jacob's music video, when I first saw it, it was really funny.
Oh, there's been a lot. It's quite an interesting year, but I'm gonna have to go with the music video.
Making my music video, I guess, was pretty fun.
English Digital Media is a great class. I signed up for it last year since I had a couple friends of mine who were students during Digital Media's first year, which was last year. So they all recommended it to me, and I took it, and I recommend it to everyone who's a junior. It's a really great class. You get to use fantastic technology, and you learn things that you really wouldn't anywhere else.
One time we didn't have to do a question of the day.
Probably doing a lot of the recording for some of the independent projects, getting 10 people together into a hallway and saying, all right, 5 of you run that way, and then 5 of you run the other way.
My favorite memory of English Digital Media is walking all the way to Deganic Falls carrying the quadcopter, and when I finally get there, it turns out that the quadcopter is perfectly fine on battery. However, the iPod was completely out.
I think my favorite memory from English Digital Media is when Rife had to take my chair so he could reach the top of the whiteboard and erase the words.
So one question people ask at the end of things is, what would you do differently? Personally, I think I would have taken more chances. I asked some of my classmates what some of their advice would be for upcoming seniors.
I would say don't waste time.
Don't let senioritis get you.
Don't take too many classes. I don't have a lunch this year, and that was a really bad decision. Senioritis is a real thing.
If you're lazy, take as little classes as possible.
Always go for the things that you think you are not gonna make it, because maybe you are going to make it. I don't know. Go for it.
Take this class.
In your senior year, make sure you still get good grades.
Don't take a 5-credit year. Take at least 7 classes.
I think the main one would also be, doing something because you want to do it, because you enjoy doing it, not necessarily because someone's making you do it or because you feel pressure to do it by everybody else.
Go with the flow. Things can change, different things can happen, just go with it.
I would say that they should think about what they want to do and how they can apply that with their classes.